The following segment is sponsored by Uplift Families. How can we maintain a thankful attitude during the holidays and beyond? Well, Brandy Vega is here with some tips. Brandy, thank you so much for coming back to the show.
Oh, always a pleasure.
We always love having you. So let's start off. You have a very powerful, very heartfelt story on what inspired you to create the Live Live Global broadcast. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I almost lost my teenage daughter to suicide last year, and it was devastating. It was her second attempt. The first time we didn't talk about it. The second time I was like, we have to talk about it. And when I opened up, then people started flooding into me saying, can you help? What can we do? So now I'm a mom on a mission trying to figure out how can we help not just our children, ourselves, and those around us.
And you have helped so many people by being vulnerable and opening up about you and your daughter's story. What have you learned about getting through hard times? What are some tips you've learned when you went through this?
Well, I love the idea of being resilient. I love the idea of uplifting each other and doing these things. So I've just tried to learn and say, okay, one, I think if anyone is watching this, I've said it before, but if you're watching right now, stop what you're doing and go ask your spouse, your mom, your child, point blank, are you suicidal?
Yeah.
That seems like a hard question, but you know what? They're going to give you an answer. Like, it's time that we start having these really important conversations. And then once you know that, then there are things that we can do to start to change our mind and to build our children and to build our relationships.
And like you said, they're really hard questions to ask, but they are so important. The holidays are right around the corner, and it is a time where so many people are happy or feel like they should be happy. But what if someone's going through a hard time, but they still want to be thankful during the holiday season? What advice do you have for them?
I think for anybody, going through the holidays can be a trigger, both good and bad, and even throughout the whole year. I've learned now as a mother and just kind of studying and researching that there are things we can do. So I have now implemented the three things. That's what I'm calling it. So at
the three things.
The
okay.
three things.
Everyone remember the three things.
At night before I go to bed, I write down 3 things that I'm thankful for and why. And then I pick my 3 goals for the next day.
Okay.
What do I want to accomplish? And then I think of 3 people that I can reach out to and just check on them and say, hey, how are you doing today? How's life treating you? Do you need anything? Because service helps us feel better and help others. And it's kind of a good way to keep a pulse on one another. And when you have that cognitive behavioral therapy, where you're changing the way your brain thinks, you can start to reprogram it. So try to find the silver lining in everything you do. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of saying, oh my gosh, this stinks, say, wow, I have time right now to think about my day or to listen to this beautiful music or whatever it is. Like, try to find the good.
I love that. Brandy, you are such a powerhouse woman. We always love it when you're here. Where can we go for more information?
You can go to upliftfamilies.org, look at the family resources. There's great information there. And I would also add that if you're struggling or you know someone who's struggling, 988 is a new crisis hotline, so don't be afraid to reach out.
All right, Brandy, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.